Fish on! Yeehaw, baby!
What's up, Catfish people? Welcome to El Gato Azul TV. My name's Chris. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how we rig our dragging rigs for catfish. I rig these a variety of ways. I like to have variety when I'm dragging, but this is my basic favorite rig. So I'm going to show y'all how we tie it, and I'm going to go into a little bit of why we're doing what we do. Now, guys can tie these all different kinds of ways and have success. This is just how we do it. I start with an 8/0 hook. This time of year, it's hot here in Texas. We're catching smaller fish. We do occasionally catch some 20s and 30s, but for the most part, we're on eater fish up until October. And so I use an 8/0 hook. In the winter, I use Lucky 13, 13/0 Nocturnal Nation hooks. They're incredible hooks. And on all my planer board rigs in the winter and fall, I use stinger rigs. So I'll use the Lucky 13 in the nose, and then I'll stinger rig a 10/0 Dale's Bloodline in the dorsal fin. I'll do another video when fall comes on that rig. I've done one before, but I didn't go into exactly how I rig mine. I just did a basic rigging video for them, but that's a video for another day. I use an inline rattle, 60-pound monofilament, and from my hook to my Demon Dragon, or I use battle rattles from Mad Cats. This particular one is a Demon Dragon high fin blue. It's got 5 to 6 inches of leader. I like to use an inline rattle just to help give it a little extra sound, but it also helps keep the bait buoyant. It floats it up a little better. So when you're dragging, I always say a natural presentation will catch you more fish in the long run. If you can give it a natural presentation, you're going to catch more fish. So what the inline rattle does helps float the bait up slightly, a little bit more. Instead of riding down like this, it's riding up like this. I put the 4 beads in there to get this line rattle away from the hook and the bait. So when a fish comes and grabs it, he's not feeling this weird line rattle. And I use these plastic beads. These are pink and blue. I generally use some version of pink and a little bit of blue. I've heard that that catfish are attracted to blue. So that's what I use. It works for us. And I love this rig. So we go 6 inches up to the Demon Dragon. I tie a Palomar knot. This is probably the easiest knot you can tie. It never fails as long as you tie it the right way. Spend the time learning your knots and tying, and before you know it, you'll be tying them in your sleep. From the Demon Dragon, I do not go through this eye. I tie mine to the back eye. The reason I don't go through this eye is I used to go through this eye when these were Zara spooks. I used to get these at garage sales when I was 15 years ago. They were called Zara spooks. I'd cut the treble hooks off and make drift floats with them. And I used to run it through this eye, but I noticed when you hang up, every time it breaks off, it's breaking off where it goes through that eye because it crimps your line a little bit. So I just started tying them to the eyes, the back eye and the front eye, and they never break this way. These are strong. From there, I go another Palomar knot up to my leader, which is 60-pound monofilament. I use about an 18-inch to 24-inch leader most days. I do keep some other length leaders on the boat. I carry a few 12-inch for days that it's like high pressure, fish are laying in the mud. I'll give them a shortened 12-inch leader, which gets the bait closer down to the bottom where they're laying. But for the most part, 18 to 24 inches. And I do keep a few 36-inch leaders on the boat as well for when the fish are a little more suspended. From there, I go another Palomar to my main line. My main line is 30-pound Berkeley big game. Solar collector green. You know, Some guys, I won't go into braid versus mono, but I've been using Berkeley big game my whole life. I've been using these for catfish for 30 years. I like it. It does me right. When this solar collector green starts getting hazy, I know it's time to change the line, so there's no questioning, is that line fresh and am I going to lose this monster? You can tow this 23-foot bay boat with this fresh 30-pound Berkeley big game. So it works for me. I'm sticking with it, unless somebody really just convinces me otherwise. I'm not married to any of this stuff. I'm willing to change. I'm always willing to change. But from there, I use a sinker slide instead of the 3-way rig for dragging like a lot of guys. I use a sinker slide. I think that most days it doesn't matter whether you use the 3-way or the sinker slide, but about 1 trip out of 10, the fish will seem to be weight shy, line shy. When they feel something and they pick that weight up, they'll drop it really quickly. On those types of days, I think that this sinker slide will actually help you catch a few more fish when dragging, and that's why we use it. I use a lightweight. This one's black or blue. I get them off Amazon. I use a lightweight sinker slide. And the reason I do that is occasionally you will get this dragging weight hung up and you can't get it out, and what it'll do is it'll break off at that eye and you'll get your expensive rig back. But I've switched to these Carolina lake weights, and really these things are a game changer for dragging. They will save you a ton of money in lost rigs because they just don't get snagged up very often. I fished yesterday. I got hung up 6 times. I got every one of them. I got them back, which is very uncommon. I even hung up on 2 crappie condos yesterday, and I got both rigs back out of the crappie condos. And usually, when you hang a crappie condo, you're either bringing the crappie condo to the boat or you're breaking off and getting nothing back. But I got them loose with these Carolina lake weights. And the reason these things are so badass is because, for one, they're copper filled. And what that does is it lengthens this to about a 15-inch length. And when you lengthen it, it just helps it ride smoother. And also this back heat shrink is flat. So it orients this drift weight a certain way to ride. This front heat shrink is also flat, and it's got a little bit of air in it, so it rides up a little bit like this in the water, and when you come to a rock or a little stump, it'll come up and over it without hanging up and losing all your stuff, saving you a ton of money. Man, I'm really loving these things. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for Carolina lake weights. Y'all can go over there and check them out. They're a game changer for us guys that drag. I hope you guys, everybody drags these rigs a little differently. I mean, they rig them a little differently. Hopefully for some of you new guys, or maybe even some of you other guys that are looking to maybe change your rig a little bit or improve on your rig, hopefully this will help. Hopefully this will help somebody catch some more fish. It works for us. It's a very effective rig. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that it does help. I appreciate everybody who's subscribed, who's following along with us, and who's supporting us. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. Help us grow this thing. I really appreciate you guys, and go big or go home. Azul
I'm standing
out.
by the water, just staring at the stream. Tell me, honey, are there any catfish in your dreams? Well, catfish ain't expensive, but neither is it free. Child, some folks crazy about it, others have to